Right then, ladies and gentlemen, the not so mini just landed with us for our next sale. Those of you who are quite observant may have noticed she ain't a normal lump under there. Look, we have got a little Suzuki 1300, done about 30,000 miles I think with this engine and gearbox. Obviously 5-speed Suzuki gearbox as well. Absolute little flying machine. Did like the quarter of a mile in. Anyway, very little. You know, I know the scheme of things, there's some quick lads out there, but for one of these, yeah, did it in no time at all. So a real rapid little thing. Bittersweet, really. Unfortunately, lovely guy just dropped it off. Just drove from Somerset, I think, by the way, just on like 180 miles in it. So it's certainly reliable enough, put it that way. So yeah, just drove up this morning. The wife followed up in the camper. They're having a few days up here before they go back home. He said it was a pleasure to drive. But yeah, so anyway, just done 180 plus miles to the sale, which obviously gives you a bit of confidence. But yeah, he can't remember how long he said he'd owned it now. Anyway, a good number of years. Unfortunately, well, it was his friend who actually did the conversion who sadly committed suicide. And really sad story. So anyway, he left it to the current gentleman, who has obviously kept it ever since. Bit of a sad day for him, really. You could tell he didn't sort of want to let it go. He's used it, loved it, enjoyed it, but it's time to sort of move on and have a bit of change of plan, really, try something else. So there you go. But really fancy little bit of kit, obviously fits in there super well. Not had to do too much cutting and shutting, a little bit of fab work on the bottom cross member, obviously, just to sit everything in. But all in all, very little cutting out. I think it purely was the cross member. I don't think they've gone into the chassis or anything, and bits and pieces. So fits in there really well, superb. There was only one other guy, I think either Australian or something, who put a turbo one of these lumps in. Obviously this one isn't turbo, as you can see. So all the plans and everything are inside the car. There's heaps and heaps and heaps of paperwork for it. Spare ECU, we'll get all to that bit in a minute. Bolt-in roll cage, so you can take it out when you wish. Comfy seats, I'm not too sure what they're out of, but they're lovely. Oh, Suzuki Mini conversion, there you go. This was a guy in, I believe, Australia. Something like that, with a turboed, put a turbo lump in it. So we took some pictures and bits and pieces and sort of based this off of that one. There you go, you can see it all coming together, this one in particular. So yeah, just slightly modified the front subframe and so forth and bits and pieces. A little bit of an inner wing removed, little bits and pieces, nothing too severe, all really well done. So anyway, loads of photos and bits and pieces there. There's loads of manuals and everything wrote down for the next person there, with all the general spec and bits and pieces. There's a spare ECU in the boot, there's a spare alternator, I think, was it alternator? There's loads of bits and pieces anyway to go with the car. There's also a manual in there somewhere, I think it was maybe that green light, flashes up if there's any. He said not that it has, he says, but it does flash up, and you can go and look in the code book and it'll tell you what flash means what for the ECU module and bits and pieces. So I don't know, say it threw up a sensor light or something, it'd do so many flashes, and you can relay it in the book. Loads of manuals and bits and pieces, invoices, you name it, loads and loads and loads of paperwork. There's even more upstairs in the office. The main bits I've left in the car just for you guys to have a flick through and a read. Some really interesting bits in there. But yeah, he said it's a little flying machine, super nippy. So it comes on cam at like 5, he said, so it'll go right round to 7. He said, take it down the road. I said, I'm not taking it down the road. I said, but thank you very much. But no, seriously, it's a little flying machine, he said. He may have got caught for speeding on the way up as well. I think he just missed it. But there you go, one fancy suspension, is rock solid. It's like a little go-kart, look. Some famous racing driver took it out. He said the only thing which will make that little car better is if you put it on racing slicks. Other than that, leave it as it is, he says. So there you go. Clean as well externally on the paintwork. We'll polish up lovely. Chrome works good. I think, what was in this one? There's all sorts of bits and pieces anyway. Oh, oil filter. Oh, there you go. Alternator, coil pack, spare ECU, I think, in this one. Bits of hoses, plugs. There's a few bits and pieces anyway floating about. There's also a don't know if it was a spare engine in 2 gearboxes or 2 engines and 1 gearbox, but anyway, there's a spare engine and gearboxes, I think, which aren't with the car. They're down country with him, so he says whoever the successful bidder is, if they want to get in touch and obviously come and collect the engine and gearboxes and bits and pieces, then please do so. I believe they sort of come with the sale of the car. They're not on separate negotiation, but I will just double check on that for you. But no, little cracker, well worth coming down and having a look. Super usable example. It's no, it's good really. So there you are. Nip down, see what you think. Thank you.